Okay, just heading into Chilliwack Ford, Tuesday the 15th of April. Hopefully this is kind of the last of the Bronco saga with the dealer. Nothing really to do with the dealer, just the fact that the first Bronco's been nothing but a headache. And today I should be picking up the new Bronco and hopefully closing the chapter on the purchase end of all this stuff and the warranty issues and all that. Hopefully this next Bronco will hold itself together and not have any instant problems. So just pulling in now to get all the paperwork in order so we can get the camera mount swapped over and whatever else done. And yeah, like I said, hopefully this is the end of it. Hopefully this one works as well as Chandel's has been working. We haven't had any concerns with Chandel's Bronco, and we've had it for a while now. Yeah, and that's basically, this is the same year, 4-door. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully this is the end of the BS with Bronco warranty stuff. So yeah, anyway, hopefully the next time you see me, it'll be in the Bronco. So yeah, I'm here at Ford. Finished the deal on getting out of the 2-door Bronco with the braking issue. So they've stepped up to the plate hugely here at Ford and taking care of me on this situation. It has been a little frustrating dealing with it up until now, but it is now done. And yeah, so both the Broncos are parked beside each other right now because we've got to swap things over. They still have the small tires on the Bronco from last week, but so they still need to put the tires, or maybe they don't. Looks like they did swap them back. I swore I seen it with the smaller tires earlier. But anyway, so yeah, so there they are beside each other. So we're getting out of the blue one into the green one. I've test drove this, no braking issues, drives great. This is a Wild Track Sasquatch, so it's the same height and same tires and wheels, but the Wild Track actually has a Fox shock package, so it actually drives amazingly well. I noticed a big difference, to be honest, which is, you wouldn't think, but from Bilsteins to Fox, there is a big difference. So this one has the same bumper as Chandel's, which I can flat tow right off of these hooks from day one, which is great. And it also, I believe, has a tow hitch, which Chandel's does not have. So I think it was a dealer installed, it said on the window sticker, but yeah, it does have the hitch, so I'll be able to put the bike rack on it, no problem. So yeah, I'm gaining a bunch of options, losing the cool factor of the 2-door. I do think that the 2-door is a cooler looking vehicle. I do love the 2-door door size, and eventually I would like to actually build a 2-door version of this Bronco. That would be a lot of work, but it would be pretty cool to have the big doors on the front of this and no back doors and have this size of Bronco, which would be a sweet project if we ever come across a write-off or something we can down the road when these get older. It would be cool to do one at the shop. So yeah, this one, yeah, you see this bumper's a little different. I would have had to have swapped Chandel's onto here or buy an aftermarket bumper, so that's going to save us on that. It's also going to save us on having to buy a Fox shock system, because I'll probably just do a bit of a lift to this one with maintaining these shocks, be able to put 37s on it and maybe either wheel spaces or aftermarket wheels. We'll see when we get to that point. The only thing I'm losing really off of the 2-door is the roof rack, which it kind of looks cool, but it was not really necessary for me. I don't need it, but it did look kind of cool on the 2-door. It just made it look even that much shorter. But other than that, all just positives on this. I do really like the green, just like the blue Bronco. I wanted something a little different. I've always just had black vehicles, and I really liked the red that I had on my Tremor Ford a couple of years ago. So having a neat color is a bonus. Huge thank you to Charmaine at Chilliwack Ford and Chilliwack Ford themselves for stepping up to the plate and making this painless to get out of the problem vehicle and into something different. They've helped me out hugely with the cost, to where if I would have bought this green Bronco in February when I brought the blue one, I would have paid probably upwards of almost $10,000 more for that. At the end of the day, not only have I been upgraded, but I've saved a ton of money and just had to deal with the braking issues. So I've asked them to let me know once they fix the blue Bronco, just what it is, to kind of help everybody understand what happened with it and what the repair actually was, since we've been doing a bit of a storyline on this now for weeks and weeks. But anyway, thanks again, Ford, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, Tuesday morning automotive shop walkthrough. Beautiful morning here. They got the doors open. Lots on the go here. So let's take a quick look. Got this Mustang in for kind of its spring service, and they're going to add an overflow to the radiator system, and they did, I think, a water pump gasket, and just get it serviced up and ready for the spring. I'm not sure what the Cadillac's in here for, as I just got in this morning, and the Riviera has been here for, it started with a heater core and a water leak, which is now turned into timing chain, front cover, water pump, fuel pump, and a few other things. So we got the parts in, I think, yesterday. So Dave's in now, getting it done. So this should be back on the road later today, I would assume. Got Heather's race car in here. She got her transmission back from whoever they were doing the transmission work with. So we got that put back in. And I'm not sure if there was a few other things we were doing to get it ready for the season for them, but that's why the race car is here. Ashley's working on the Stamina truck, getting all the front end work done, I believe. I see some new control arms, putting in a new steering stabilizer.
Stabilizer, inner, outers, pitman, uppers, control arms, lower control arms.
If it unbolts, you're changing it, pretty much. Cool. And over here we have Jeff's International in. This is just in for service work, really? And a coolant leak. Cool. The root beer truck.
Someone's put the shaft in backwards, up 180 degrees out.
Oh, wow.
So I took it apart and I was able to flip, without taking the shaft, I was able to flip everything around in there.
Yeah.
And now you click it and you turn a little bit, you hear the click,
yeah.
Go back,
oh.
Cancel.
So we kind of thought that maybe something was 180 out, but we couldn't really see. So when someone either rebuilt the steering column or
had it where they hooked up the steering, they put it in upside down.
Oh,
and
okay.
They straighten the wheel, who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's working.
So that 73 vet signal cancellation saga is over. Yeah. Perfect. Well, good to know. It's always good to find something like that, and now it'll never happen again because we'll know right away what the deal is.
Are you getting your new Bronco?
Yeah, I just finished the deal with them at Fort, and they're just transferring the plates and everything over right now, so I'll be picking it up here after a shop meeting. So.
Yeah, because I saw it yesterday when I drove by with the sold sign. I'm like, that better be sold to Lee.
Yeah, no, it is. So.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Ford stepped up to the plate hugely on it, so it's good. Okay. So yeah. Head upstairs for the Tuesday shop meeting and get things on the go here, and we'll go pick up that Bronco shortly and get going on a bunch of stuff. So beautiful day, feels great having this weather, so kind of feels like the start of the year. Let's go. Okay, just got to Ford, picked up the green Bronco. Everything went well, got the cameras switched over, and yeah, just gonna head back to the shop. So everything was good. Sean's back to work. He was off sick for a little while, dealing with some complications, so thankfully he's on the mend, it seems, and back at her. So he helped me get switched into this Bronco. Like I said, everything's good. They went above and beyond in helping get this situation straightened out. Yeah, anyway, not much to say. Got the Bronco, heading back to work, so we'll see you there. The hot rod shop, do a quick walkthrough here for my first walkthrough of the day down here. Been gone for a couple business days when I was gone for the Spokane show, so there'll be a few changes here. The El Camino's, I think, getting dropped off on tomorrow, Wednesday, to finish up the stereo in it now. We're doing a bit of a stereo, so he's got the parts ready for that, and he's been working on this a little bit. Are we waiting on stuff for the Apache? Is that what we're at?
Island, we've just got a sniper to put into it.
Yeah, but the upholstery-wise. It's all good.
On that.
So we're putting a sniper distributor in it?
Yeah, customer has requested a sniper distributor put in it.
Perfect. Awesome. And then the C10 short box. He's got the box sitting at the right height now, which is good. So you can see the body lines are matching up. They've got the coil springs back in the original locations. They got a 3-inch lowering spring, but it's not quite enough, so we're going to get a block in it as well to lower the rear some more. Get it down low. He's got it mounted under the wood, which is nice, so the wood will just be machined out so you don't see the bolts bolting the box wood down, or the box down itself. So yeah, that's getting close. Customers just got to decide if we're just going to paint the box for now or get into the rust repair and do a full paint job on it. He wants to remove the trim as well, which is a bunch of welding and whatnot. So still got that work to figure out on that. Over here, we're just going to be putting the McLaughlin in storage for a little bit while we're waiting for parts that are being made and some chroming. It's just been taking up too much space. Put in a big parts order again, which we're waiting for. It's up and running now, and brakes are all been worked on. We had a couple leaks I think we've been fixing, but otherwise it's almost a drivable car, which is great. And this Mustang we had back for a bit of a grocery list of stuff. I think Bernard's finishing up a few things on that, and that should be out of here this week as well. So it's that Coyote swap one we did some upholstery work on. So that is almost out of here. Working on, I think, the speedometer on the Eleanor car, adapting the modern stuff to the Dakota Digital. So Carrick's working on that. And we're waiting on Pat's Driveline to get back to us on a drive shaft with a CV or something in it. No matter what we do, we can't get the full vibration out of it, even with everything being kind of perfect on paper. With angles, still not working out for us. So that's that. The orange truck, customers added a few things to a list for us to do for him. One of those is also the speedometer, the modern transmission, because it's Coyote swapped. It's an automatic though. Getting that to work with his Dakota Digital, so that's why it's still here. And once he figures it out on the Eleanor, it'll probably help us figure it out for the orange truck as well. Clint's working on the 55. This one was sitting a bit in storage during the transmission swap, but now that all the mechanicalism has been done, we're going to pull the seats out and get the floor fixed as the shifter position changed, and get the new carpet kit put in and get this one done as well. Lots going on over here. So there's your Tuesday walkthrough. All right, I'm just in the 51 Ford. They found some AC fitting leaks and fixed those and recharged the system. So it's nice and warm in here right now. So I'm going to flick on the AC and see how that works. And then take it for another good little drive. And then if everything is well, we'll put her down into safe storage for a couple weeks while the customer is away. So let's get this on medium, and AC's on cold, so make sure it cools off, and then we'll, as long as the AC is working, I'll take it for a little bit of a drive, and if everything's great, we'll put her to storage until he's a couple days away from his vacation, and then we'll get her down to detail and get her all cleaned up. If she's a little dirty, like I said before, we don't like to clean them unless they're ready to go home. Otherwise, you introduce more and more wear and scratches and everything to it. So AC seems to be getting cold here, so that's a good thing. I'll put it on high, and yeah, it's blowing some cold air, so we'll let it warm up here a little bit, and then we'll take it for a short little drive. It's all warmed up a bit, and the AC's blowing nice and cold, so I'm just gonna go around the parking lot here and see how she runs. Nice. Feels good, so I'm gonna go eat some lunch, and then I'll see about getting someone to pick me up at storage, and we'll run it down there and park it for a little bit. The AC's blowing nice and cold, and get an idea when I'll look back, see when it is the customer's going to be back, and get it in the schedule for detail. And yeah, just get it out of the way for now, so keep it nice and safe.